Let me gaze into my crystal pumpkin. Oh, it is Halloween anyway. Oh, I see that it is time for Wonderful Wednesday at the Halifax Library in Halifax, North Carolina. I am Madam Cheryl Brown, and this is my associate, Madam Ginger Phipps. Today, we are going to be talking about superstitions. Oh, what is a superstition, you may ask? Oh, wait, I see that I need my glasses to see. Just one moment. Oh, that's better. A superstition is a noun. It is a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception or causation. It is also an irrational, abject attitude of mind toward the supernatural, nature, or God resulting from superstition. And it is a notion maintained despite evidence to the contrary. Most of the information that I will be talking to you about today is from this book. It's called Superstitious. Here's why. It is by Julie Forsyth Batchelor and Claudia DeLise. Well, how did superstitions begin? What was the reason for them? It is believed that the earliest superstitions grew out of pagan religions. Sun worship and moon worship were very important to primitive peoples, and these heavenly bodies were viewed with great fear and respect. So many beliefs came about from this fear and respect. Early man's close relationship with and observation of nature led to a strong belief in unseen spirits. He saw that animals seemed to hear and sense things that men could not. So these things must be ghosts or supernatural beings. And it was assumed that there were many more bad spirits than good ones. In order to protect themselves from these bad spirits, all sorts of charms and amulets and talismans and counter magic were created. Let's find out what some of these are. Oh, a horseshoe is one of the many charms used to ward off evil spirits. One hanging over a doorway is considered to bring good luck. Crescent or U-shaped objects were considered powerful and protective signs. And even the ruins at Stonehenge, England, created by sun-worshipping druids, were in semicircle or horseshoe design. Horseshoes were made of iron, a metal that people believed protected them from witches. Also, horseshoes were made to hold 7 nails, a mystic and potent number. No, the unusual properties of salt have puzzled and fascinated people in every part of the world. The ancients were positive that salt was magic and had a dual nature to do good and evil. When it was realized that salt could preserve food, man began to imagine that it also had the power to protect him. When someone spilled salt, it was believed a guardian spirit had caused the accident to warn of evil nearby. It was also believed that good spirits lived on the right side of the body and bad spirits on the left. So early man threw a pinch of salt over his left shoulder to bribe the spirits who were planning to harm him. Oh, you may see people knock on wood after boasting, making a prediction, or speaking of good fortune. Some knock 3 times to make sure Lady Luck hears them. This belief goes back to ancient tree folklore. It was believed that trees were the homes of gods, and that these gods were kind and obliging if approached in the right way. When asking a favor of the tree god, one touched the bark. After the favor was granted, the tree was again knocked as a sign of thanks. Most farmers agree that crows are not easily scared, but scarecrows may keep the birds away for a time. In the early days, the idea was not to scare away crows with this scarecrow figure of a man, but rather to use it as a cross symbol that would protect the cornfield. As today, scarecrows were made of 2 poles fastened together in the form of a cross, considered one of the most powerful charms against evil spirits. Clothes were simply hung on this cross to disguise it. Oh, do you shiver when a black cat crosses your path? Woo! Many people do because they believe it means very bad luck. This belief goes back to the Middle Ages, when it was thought that a black cat was the companion or mascot of a group of witches, and that it changed into a witch or Satan after 7 years of service. A black cat crossing one's path might be a witch or the devil in disguise, up to no good. The Egyptians who worshipped the cat decided it lived more than once, probably since it was able to survive many dangerous falls. They associated this animal with the Trinity, their sacred symbol of Mother, Father, and Son. 3 times 3, or 9, was the highest expression of honor which could be granted. So today, we have the popular saying, a cat has 9 lives. Oh, the next one. The taboo of the number 13 being unlucky can be traced back to the days when man first learned to count. By using his 10 fingers and counting his feet as 2 units, he came up with number 12. Beyond that lay the unknown, 13. Not sure why he didn't use the rest of his toes to count, but anyway. If you are superstitious about the number 13, look at the back of a dollar bill, you need to find one that has been minted since 1935. The incomplete pyramid has 13 steps. The American bald eagle holds an olive branch of 13 leaves and 13 berries in one claw, while in the other he has 13 arrows. But before you toss this bill guy as unlucky, remember that these 13s on the bill commemorate our 13 original colonies. Oh, the next one is scary too. Ladders have been a popular symbol in the myths of many countries. They signify both good and evil. The Egyptians believed them good, for they said it was a ladder that rescued their sun god Osiris when he was imprisoned by the spirit of darkness. In other parts of the world, walking under ladders was forbidden for various reasons. One belief was that a leaning ladder made a triangle with the wall and floor, a symbol of life. Anyone walking through this sacred triangle would be punished by spirits unless counter charms were used. Or if you must walk under a ladder, there are 3 things you can do. You can stop long enough to make a wish, you can quickly cross your fingers, or you make the fig sign, which is a closed fist, and you place your thumb between the index and middle fingers. Okay, I know you've heard that when you break a mirror, you will have 7 years of bad luck. Well, how did this superstition come about? Before breakable mirrors were invented, a shiny surface was considered a tool of the gods. When early man saw his reflection in the waters of ponds and lakes, he believed it to be the soul or his other self. When glass mirrors were made, the breaking of one meant bad luck to the other self. About the 1st century AD, the Romans decided it meant not only bad luck, but 7 long years of great misfortune. Oh, this one is tricky too. When a dog throws back its head and howls, all right, everybody howl, oh! Especially at night, many feel sure that a death will occur. To certain primitives, the howling dog was a symbol of the wind god, who was supposed to summon death and then carry away the spirits of the dead. To others, the dog was felt to have the power to see invisible demons, since it has inherent instincts for determining enemies and locating prey. Just another example of man trying to explain something that puzzled and awed him. Well, my husband would be so happy that we are using Woofy since we can't go to the games this year. Oh, of course, there are many sports fans who feel that they will jinx their team's chances of winning if they don't wear the same jersey or socks or hat on game day. Sometimes these items could get a little gamey if not lumbered between events. I personally like to wear my Steelers hat on game day, and in Pittsburgh, you definitely need a warm hat during football season. So the next one is about farming. The early days of farming were in the time of moon worship. Primitives believed the moon was the source of all moisture because of the relation of the moon to tides. Also, periods of time were determined by the changes or phases of the moon each month. Planting in the light of the moon means in the time between the new and full moon. Planting in the dark of the moon refers to the period between the full and the new moon. Scientists think of the light phase of the moon as the time it's above the horizon, from dusk to midnight, and the dark phase as between midnight and dawn. Of course, it could be a little tricky farming by the moon, and they really have shown that it does not make much of a difference in the crop production. The full moons of September and October are called the harvest moons. Because of their brilliance, early folk were sure they were a special gift to the farmer from good spirits. Actually, during these 2 months, the moon makes a smaller angle with the horizon and so appears more radiant. And speaking of moons, there will be a blue moon on Saturday, October 31st, which is Halloween night. What is a blue moon? The original definition of a blue moon is the 3rd full moon in a season that has 4 full moons. This is called a seasonal blue moon. A calendrical blue moon is defined as the second full moon in a calendar month. The blue moon on October 31st this year is both a seasonal blue moon and a calendrical blue moon. Blue moons happen on average every 2.5 years, hence the expression, once in a blue moon. So we have many books about superstitions and folk tales, ghosts, and other related topics here at our wonderful library. So until next time, don't break any mirrors, walk under a ladder, or launder your lucky shirt. Be sure to howl at the blue moon and have a safe and fun Halloween, knock on wood. Be sure to watch all our programs on Halifax Library Facebook page. And everyone have a wonderful day.